Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, and today we're here to talk about an operation that's been going on for several months. In fact, after an incident happened here in New York City that brought us to a point where we recognized that we had to work together in order to bring illegal criminal aliens to justice. Nearly 6 months ago, two criminal illegal aliens attacked an off-duty Customs and Border Protection agent and his friend while they were sitting on a rock in a park after hours enjoying the evening together. These two criminals came and attempted to rob them, and it ended up where they bravely fought back. This officer defended himself and his friend, but not before being shot in the face and in the arm by one of these criminals. Immediately after, the men and women of the Homeland Security investigations worked with NYPD, leading to the arrest of that gunman in just 2 hours. Within 28 hours, the second assailant was arrested as well, and those individuals have been brought to justice. But those individuals would have never been in this country if they hadn't been allowed in by the Biden administration when they ignored our federal laws and allowed them to come in illegally. Now, the officer that was injured doesn't seek public attention. He wishes to remain anonymous, but he had a distinguished career and a legacy of service and continues to do so. But his life was forever altered by this heinous crime. His attackers never should have been in this country, and they've been protected and were protected up until that point by sanctuary city policies. In fact, they had long criminal rap sheets and were released by the Biden administration and continued to be released by leaders in this city to perpetuate crimes against the citizens that live here. During our investigation, we learned that these scumbags were affiliated with the transnational criminal organization, the notorious Trinitaris gang in New York. We began to target every single last person that is affiliated with them and recognized that they needed to be brought to justice. The American people deserve dignity, they deserve justice, and we deliver both. So we launched Operation Salvo here in New York City. Operation Salvo was a cooperation of the resources of CBP HSI ERO and also the federal prosecutors from the Southern District of New York. The New York County District Attorney's Office also participated in this operation. We've arrested 54 individuals as a part of Operation Salvo since its inception just a few months ago. Those arrested are violent transnational gang members and affiliates associated with Trinitarios who are responsible for weapons trafficking, for human smuggling, for narcotics distribution, and for armed robberies. They had perpetuated previous violent attacks across the city of New York City. We have already removed not only many of these individuals that we have arrested, but over 60% of them have been returned back to their home countries to face justice for their crimes there as well. These arrests and these removals represent a significant blow to the criminal network that has been terrorizing communities right here in New York City and throughout the United States. And that's our message to this administration, to this city, to the state, and to the United States, is that President Trump and his law enforcement officers that are entrusted to protect the American people will every day continue to keep America safe. Operation Salvo is just the beginning of a broader and a much more sustained effort to go after not only transnational criminal organizations and networks, but also illegal criminal aliens throughout the country. We are on offense. The Trump administration is using every single tool that we have to protect the American people. Sanctuary policies, whether they're here in New York City, whether they're in California, Illinois, or Minneapolis, if you are a criminal illegal alien, we are coming to get you. We will arrest you. We will bring justice, and we will also bring safety to the American people. We are warning anyone, if you think you can harm an individual, a citizen of the United States, or a law enforcement officer, we will find you and bring you to justice. If you lay a finger on one of our officers, we will catch you, we will prosecute you, and you will feel the full extent of the law. In every single thing the Trump administration does, we put the American people first. Operation Salvo has proven that by taking 54 dangerous individuals off of our streets and protecting the people who live here in this city. Now, also thanks to President Trump, we have 2.6 million people who have left our country who shouldn't have been here in the first place. They were here illegally, and over 650,000 of them were arrested, detained, and deported back to their home countries. 2 million of them left voluntarily, recognizing this was their opportunity to go home and come back someday the right way so they have a chance to enjoy the American dream. Of course, doing these operations requires brave citizens that are willing to serve their country, and we're excited by the amount of people who want to join the Department of Homeland Security in their efforts to protect the American people. And tomorrow is Law Enforcement Day, so I'd like to encourage all of you that when you see a CBP officer, an ICE officer, anyone serving in federal, state, or local who are pledging their lives and taking an oath to protect their communities and their country and the people that live there, that you thank them. Do something nice for them. Buy them lunch, give their families some support, and thank them for their service and their dedication to freedom and to liberty and enjoying the opportunity to sleep peacefully in our beds at night. Now, I'm pleased that I get to introduce several other speakers that will come up and share information on this operation with you. The first one is going to be Director Frank Russo will address and talk about some of the specifics of this operation.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Madam Secretary, we can't thank you enough for being here today. Your humanity, your compassion was evident to us the minute our officer got shot. You visiting him in the hospital, checking up on him every so often was really a clear indication of your care for our officer, and really inspired us to come up with this operation. I'm sure that the success of this operation is a direct result of your care, so thank you for that. I want to get something across to you all in a clear message. New York City is a safer city because we did not allow this attack, this vicious attack on our officer, to go unanswered and unpunished, because Operation Salvo delivered clear, real, and measured results. Now, the best thing about this operation is that it was done the way law enforcement loves to do it: quietly, discreetly, behind the scenes, often under the cover of darkness. And what that did was it allowed our officers and agents to go out there, to conduct surveillance, to do intel gathering operations, and to arrest these individuals without any interruptions and without any impact to civilians. That's the way it's supposed to be done. And that's the way we kept New York City safe. 6 months ago, our officer was enjoying a Saturday night in the park. And when he was attacked, it was an attack on all of us. And we realized we had to restore public safety and the rule of law. Our mission is clear at CBP. Our mission is to protect the homeland, safeguard the borders, and endure economic prosperity. But this mission was more narrowly focused. This mission was about protecting the citizens of New York and ridding ourselves of these horrible individuals. Now, we came up with the name Salvo because the name means a lot to us. Salvo, first and foremost, the term our officer received salvation that night. By the grace of God and because of the incredible support from the NYPD under leadership of Commissioner Tisch and her team, who was out there picking up our officer and bringing him to a hospital. So we thank the NYPD for that. Salvo also references a term of simultaneous discharge of guns in battle. And that's what happened that night to our officer. And he was so courageous in getting shot in the wrist and in the face and still firing back. He's a hero to us, and he inspires us each and every day. And finally, we felt the need as a premier law enforcement agency with our partners to unleash a salvo of justice. And so by using intel-driven operations, data-driven targeting capabilities that are second to none, we went after individuals who are illegally here and many who have criminal records. It was an incredible operation done by working with our partners, realizing that these individuals were affiliated to the Trinitarios gang. And when we realized that, then we did what CBP and our partners do best: get at the root cause of the problem. Go after these transnational criminal organizations by getting at their networks. And each and every day, we would pick off one or two. And with our partners, with ICE, with ERO, with HSI, we used our mapping techniques, looking at individuals with criminal records, arrest warrants, removal orders, and again, picking them off one by one. We could not have done it without them, and it was an amazing success. We looked at businesses, residences, and community hubs that were harboring these individuals. The results speak for themselves. More than 50 arrests as a result of our efforts, all because of the partnership and the work that we did together. It was truly remarkable, and a sign that we will not sit on the sidelines. We will always be there to protect this city. I want to thank, first and foremost, the Secretary, again, our Commissioner, our Assistant Commissioner, the Office of Field Operations, our Special Response Team operators, our task force officers, our Board of Security team, our field analysis and intelligence units, under the leadership of George Pasiakos, Mike Firing, Dave Campos, and Carmine Borges, who did an incredible job of protecting the city and making sure that a Saturday night in the park is safe. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm now going to turn it over to ICE ERO Director Ken Gianallo. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. How you doing? My name's Ken Gianallo. I am the Field Office Director for ICE Enforcement Removal Operations, New York City. I first want to thank Secretary Noem for traveling to the city today and for our continued and unwavering support of our brave law enforcement officers. We are here today because of the abject failure of the New York City bail reform laws and sanctuary city policies. The tragic shooting of this heroic CBP officer was entirely preventable and is a direct result of those policies. What makes this case particularly egregious is both of these violent criminals had been in NYPD custody on multiple occasions. However, due to these sanctuary city policies and the politicians that prioritize politics over public safety, these criminal illegal aliens were repeatedly released onto New York City's streets to harm this brave officer. ERO New York City is proud to partner with CBP and HSI in this joint initiative to not only locate and arrest the two criminal aliens responsible for the shooting, but also to identify, locate, and apprehend their Trinitario associates, ruthless gang members who engage in illicit activity and terrorize law-abiding New Yorkers. Together, we have arrested over 50 criminal aliens, many with felony convictions, including weapons offenses, drug offenses, robbery, assault, rape, sexual abuse, burglary, and larceny. Approximately 30 of those have already been removed from the United States, while the remaining are in ERO custody at this time. Communities with sanctuary policies suffer the most harm from criminal aliens. When local police release dangerous aliens into the community, they often reoffend in the same community that they are released in. And also, they stay in sanctuary city areas. In this case, the shooter demonstrates he would travel to another sanctuary city jurisdiction, which was in Massachusetts, where he had an outstanding criminal warrant for armed robbery. So to further their criminality without fear of consequences or repercussions, they will travel to sanctuary city jurisdictions, basically hiding in plain sight. They provide safe haven for criminal aliens. The lack of cooperation is unprecedented across the law enforcement spectrum, and rather than the city's stated purpose to protect the immigrants in New York and the citizens of New York City, these misguided policies allow criminals to roam freely in our city, in our country, subjecting New Yorkers and all Americans to unnecessary harm, which includes an off-duty CBP officer just trying to enjoy his Saturday evening in our great city. ICE will continue to uphold the mission to protect the city's residents by holding alien offenders accountable. New Yorkers should not have to worry about violent criminals roaming their neighborhoods because the local systems failed them. We always stand ready to work with our local law enforcement partners without condition and sincerely look forward to reestablishing mutually beneficial path forward for the safety of all New Yorkers to ensure preventable tragedies like this never have to occur again. Thank you. I will now introduce you to the Special Agent in Charge for Homeland Security Investigations for New York, Mr. Ricky Patel.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Ken. Good morning. As you just heard, my name is Ricky Patel. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, here in New York City. It is an honor to join my esteemed colleagues today to say, when our partners call, we answer. No hesitation, no delay. That's the commitment HSI New York brings to every threat against our law enforcement family and to our great city. From the very first moments following the July shooting of our CBP partner, HSI agents alongside local, state, and federal counterparts worked relentlessly, day and night, to track those responsible. HSI personnel, in coordination with our local partners, apprehended the accused gunman within 2 hours of the shooting. We swiftly identified his alleged accomplice, whom we arrested shortly thereafter. In the days, weeks, and months that followed, together with law enforcement, we pursued every known associate of this violent migrant gang crew. We poured over every piece of evidence, followed every lead, and made it clear an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. Our unity is our strength, and we will never let criminals divide us. Our investigation led to the capture of individuals tied to violent transnational gangs, including associates of the Trinitarios gang that are responsible for weapons trafficking, human smuggling, narcotics distribution, armed robberies, and repeated violent attacks across the Big Apple. Their arrests deliver a major blow to criminal networks that have preyed on our New York City neighborhoods for far too long. This was only possible because of the unwielding and unwavering collaboration between DHS partners and those from the Southern District of New York, the Manhattan District's Attorney's Office, and the law enforcement partners from all levels. Investigative methods and interviews were conducted. We identified additional conspirators and expanded our reach. I am proud to say that the main targets and dozens of their associates have been taken off of our streets. But our work isn't finished. We will continue to leverage every resource, whether it's local, state, or federal, to root out anyone connected to this conspiracy and this violent gang. Leadership and teamwork remain the backbone of our success. HSI's mission is clear: protect public safety and national security by investigating and arresting the most dangerous criminal elements from our communities. Every day, we use our broad authorities to enforce hundreds of federal laws, targeting transnational criminal organizations from every angle. We will not rest. We will not back down. HSI New York will continue to disrupt and dismantle criminal networks, ensuring our city and our country remain safe. Thank you, and I now turn it back over to Secretary Noem.
Well, thank you, Ricky and Frank and Ken, for all of your hard work that you do every day here in New York City, but also for the rest of our country. With that, we'll open it up to any questions that you may have.
Of the 54 people, how many had pending charges or criminal convictions? And I'm wondering, ICE's own data in New York City shows that over the last year, between January and October, 70% of the arrests that ICE did in New York City had no criminal convictions or pending charges. Should New Yorkers expect that trend to change? That's higher than the nationwide average.
If you look across the nationwide average, we have 70%